What's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, and I'm bringing you a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 gameplay commentary, and what you guys will be watching here is some shoddy gameplay using Expedite. Then we move over to the best shotgun in the game, in my opinion, which is the Bryson 800. I was leveling them up, trying to get them gold and all that jazz, ended up finishing up every shotgun except the Bryson 890, almost done with that one, just have to get the kill streaks with it. So yeah, anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys today about the best shotguns in the game, and as a bonus, I'm going to be going over each and every single shotgun with the best class up and weapon tuning on top of it, so stay tuned for that. Timestamps will be in the description below, so that way you guys can skip to which shoddy you want to see, or, you know, whatever it may be you want to do. Just to help you guys out with organization. Also, InfinityWard, fix the shadows in these buildings. Oh my god, my eyeballs can't take the static electricity on looking TV static crap on my screen. Oh my god, it looks horrible. Anyways, yeah, so the Bryson 800, definitely the best shotgun in the game. I'm gonna go ahead and put some class setups on the screen for you guys. And with their tuning, you guys can go ahead and take a look at each individual one, and I'm going to go ahead and discuss why each one works that way. So let's start off with the Bryson 800. So the Bryson 800 is going to be a more ranged build we're going to be going for, and I think everyone should always try to have the best of both worlds. Mobility, which is movement speed, and range, because a shotgun obviously has limited range. So for our class setup, we're going to have the X10 modified choke on, and the reason we have this on here is because it's going to make our pellet spread tighter as well as give us more damage range. And the reason this is important is because whenever you have a shoddy, the pellet spread matters. So the wider it is, the better it's going to be for close quarters, and the tighter it is, the more it's going to be for medium to longer ranges. I like to have my shotguns be kitted more towards medium to longer ranges because I feel like up close, having a tight spread, and if you have good aim, just putting it to center mass is going to guarantee you a one-shot anyway, so having it nice and tight is not really a bad thing. For our laser, we're going to have the Schlager, I think it's the ULO 66 laser, and this one's just going to help tighten up our hip spread a little bit as well as give us better hip fire recoil control. And the Merc foregrip's also really good to use on shotguns because it's good for hip fire as well, so that's a little bonus with that one. And then we're going to use the sawed off mod just for mobility purposes. I mean, we're going to gain ADS time, sprint to fire time, and mobility, you know, movement speed and all that kind of stuff. So overall, these shotgun classes are going to look exactly the same except for maybe like one or two attachments. So I'm not going to go over in depth those attachments that are pretty much the same on the other class setups. But yeah, so our tuning, the muzzle and barrel are the only ones I'm worried about. And the reason for this is because they come with damage range. So we don't really need to worry about ADS speed because, again, we can kind of, I guess you could say, quick scope with this thing, right? Like, if you're at the hip and you can fire it as you're aiming down the sights, and as you're aiming down the sights, it's going to tighten your spread and the overall, like, hip fire of the shotgun because you're going to be going to ADS. So you don't really have to worry about your ADS speed. Unless you're really going for a super long range kill, but again, we're going to be playing close quarters with a shotgun, so that's not really too important. Moving on to the Lockwood 300, this is also an extremely powerful shotgun, and the only thing I'm going to go over here is that the X10 choke and the barrel, they're just different name, but they're pretty much the same barrel as the previous shotgun we took a look at, which was the Bryson 800, so again, we're just going for the same kind of build here on every single shotgun because, like I said, we want maximum range as well as really good mobility. So this one's pretty self-explanatory, and it's going to be the same thing with the next one, which is the Bryson 890. The Bryson 890 feels pretty close to the Bryson 800, I would say, with just a little bit less range, but as a trade-off, you get a magazine with it. So it's still a really good shotgun. I really like it, but I kind of lean more towards the Bryson 800. I mean, if you don't want to run a shotgun with sleight of hand or fast hands, whatever you want to call that perk, I guess this is the one to do it, but even then, I still personally lean a little bit more towards the Bryson 800. I'm not really quite sure why this is a separate gun, because they're just so similar, but yeah, anyways, that's the class setup. Again, very similar to the rest of the shotguns. And last but not least, we have the Expedite 12, which the only difference, again, on this one, these attachments are very similar, yet again, is the bolt is going to increase our fire rate, and we have no barrel instead because this one doesn't really have a barrel that I see as useful. So therefore, I'm not going to run a barrel on the Expedite 12. Moving forward, let's talk about some shoddy tips, because shotguns are a very easy weapon to use, but they are a very hard weapon to do well with because a lot of people don't really, I guess, understand the best way to use shotguns. So let's talk about some perks here that are really going to help us out whenever we are running a shotgun. So first things first, the double time perk is an amazing perk to run because it's going to double our tactical sprint duration as well as our crouch movement speed, which is just overall really going to be helpful with a shotgun. We can close the gap between our enemies, and whenever we're crouching around as well, stalking enemies or whatever you want to do with that, you're going to be moving a little bit faster, which is good for hip firing and maybe even trying to peek somebody while you're crouched. Fast hands is an amazing bonus perk for you guys to run because it's going to speed up our reloads, and the reason I would recommend this is because a lot of these shotguns like the Bryson 800, the 890, well, not so much the 890, but the Bryson 800, the Lockwood 300, and the Expedite 12 are all like you load each shell individually, whereas the Bryson 890's got a magazine on it. So maybe with the Bryson 890, I wouldn't really recommend running fast hands, but for the other three shotguns, I would definitely say fast hands is your best option for your perk 2 or bonus perk. And finally, we have Quick Fix for our ultimate perk, and the reason being is Quick Fix is going to help us regenerate our health instantly after each kill, which is pretty self-explanatory for a shotgun. The reason you're going to want to run this is because it's going to regenerate your health instantly after you get a kill, and if there's more enemies around, well, there you go. You'll be back at full health before they can even react, and yeah, you'll be able to pick up so many free double kills and triple kills if you're running the Quick Fix perk. So I highly recommend this perk. And lastly, I want to talk about our second base perk real quick because I didn't mention one. I think you can run whatever you want, but some honorable mentions would be Tracker, so that way you can see enemy footprints. And I would also recommend Bomb Squad, just so that way you can run around and avoid explosives. If you hit a Claymore or Prox Mine or something, you won't die, and it should save you and protect you from being killed. Now, moving along, let's go ahead and talk about some equipment that is going to help us further have an easier time using shotties. So Semtex is definitely the best lethal whenever you're using a shotgun, and the reason I'm highly going to recommend you guys use Semtex is because if you know there's an enemy on cover, or they're maybe behind cover, or they're in a room and you can't quite reach them safely, and you know that you don't have a rifle or a sub to take them on and you just have a shotty, I would highly recommend just lobbing a Semtex in there and it will kill them off that, so that way you can push in and move further up the map. Smoke grenades are an amazing option for people who are playing a little bit more defensive on the other team. Maybe they're using an assault rifle or sniper rifles or marksman rifles, and they're just really locking down a lane. I would highly recommend that you guys go ahead and throw on smoke grenades, so that way you can close the gap to your enemies and you can further move around the map, because shotguns are all about moving around the map freely and having closest space you can have between you and your enemies. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys find some more success with your shotguns in Modern Warfare 2. And overall, the camo challenges are really not that bad. Most are just double kills, getting crouch kills, some mount kills, maybe some prone kills here and there. The overall camos are not that hard to do, and hopefully this will help you guys also get your 3 kill streaks with them for the gold challenge, because I know that sometimes that could be a little tricky, especially with, well, skill-based matchmaking being in the game. A lot of people I know, I see all over Twitter and stuff, is a lot of people are struggling sometimes with certain weapons to get those done. So hopefully those tips will help you guys out and you will have more success using shotties in Modern Warfare 2. Anyways, some upcoming content real quick I just want to go over. We will have a mini-map guide coming out some point this week, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. And then I also have the Claymore and Prox Mine video coming underway as well. I'll probably try to get out the mini-map video first, because that is what someone has been asking for, so we'll make sure we get that underway first, and I also think it's a good idea because I feel like a lot of people don't really know how to use the minimap properly in Call of Duty, and how to use it properly, like to be more aware of where enemies can be located on the map and help you guys search out your enemies. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section below. Drop a rating if you liked the video, and be sure to subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.